Welcome, my name is Tom Dembski. I'm the representative for Hygieia. What we're going to be showing you today is the Endear multi-user pump along with the Universal Deluxe personal accessory set. First I want to talk about the actual pump itself. We've got the power plug already plugged into our outlet. On the back side of the pump, any openings in the pump are protected by a micro mesh screen that keeps anything from crawling in that shouldn't be crawling in, so it's just an extra protection for the pump. There is openings there for the airflow to keep the motor cool, so that's important. On the back side, or excuse me, on the bottom side, we have a etched serial number, which is right here. It's the etched serial numbers that you'll use for tracking the pump when you loan the pump out. On top of the pump here, we have two bottle holders, which I will show you how the function of those when I open up the personal accessory set. The green button is the on and off button, and then the orange dial here is our speed control button. Okay? So we turn it on like that, and then we can control the speed by moving it that way. For now, I'm going to show you the personal accessory set. This is the Universal Deluxe. It's part number 200075. For their reference, you're going to open it up, dump it out. Lots of parts and pieces that can be a little bit overwhelming for your moms. So I'm going to show you when you're setting this up for the first time. We're going to make this as easy as possible for your moms. So we're just going to separate the things that we need, which is going to be two bottles. Put that over there. Put that material over here. We're going to need our piston. This is our piston shoulder. This is our piston. We're going to need two flange, skip these, two flange connectors. We're going to need two of our duct belt valves, which are these pieces. Okay. We'll set that aside. And then we're going to need our tubing. Okay. And then inside of here are two different size flanges. So we're going to go with the most common, which is our standard flanges. Okay, that's the shorter. This one is our larger flanges. You can see it's a little taller. So we're just going to use these parts and pieces here. And then all these parts and pieces, we're just going to slide over here. And at the end of our time today, I'm going to go through all those. And we'll let you know what all that other stuff is. So now, we got our connectors, our bottles, tubing, and our piston assembly. Okay? These are the pieces that we need. So we're going to first connect our flanges to our flange connector. Screw the bottle in. There's one. Do the same thing here. Push that in place. Take our bottle, screw that in place. And then this has a rubber band on it, a clear rubber band. We'll just take that off. The tubing. On this end, we have the plastic connectors, which are orange, and then we have what we call our cut end, which is here. We're going to take our cut end and put them on the piston shoulder, on these two little points right here. Now, if the mom is single pumping, she can cap off one side and plug one piece of tubing in. But for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to take both tubing, put those right into place. Push that in like that. And then we're going to take this little piece right here. This is our little stem. We're going to point that to where, move that. Point that where it's straight up and down, and then rotate it. What that does is it locks it into place in this little groove right here. Okay? So this peg is, or this tab here is going into this groove. Okay. See that? So again, tab up, rotate, extend this, and kind of wiggle it into place. It's ready to go. Okay. So we take our other end of our tubing. We're going to plug those into the back. Should be able to see the hole in the back. Do that for one side. And we're going to do that for the other side here. Push it into place. Now the bomb is ready to pump. Two things to note. This lever right here, this white dial, this is our suction. Okay? When I opened it up, it's on the maximum suction. There's 5 tabs right here that shows that's the high suction, and then we can decrease suction here. We can start with a lower pressure, and then as mom is comfortable, we can dial this pressure up. The speed dial is part of the pump, and we can dial that faster or slower. Again, it's all about mom and her comfort. So we'll show you that in a minute. So we just turn it on. Mom can take the actual pump and start pumping. And then adjust pressure here. And then the speed, make it slower or faster. She can change those at any time during the pumping session. When she finishes with her pumping session, simply turn the pump off. These are now filled with milk, so we're going to use our tab holders here to hold that. Okay. We're going to disconnect the tubing from both bottles. She's going to unscrew both bottles, and then she'll either take the cap, which was provided in our parts and pieces over here, and then store the milk that way, or she could pour it into a Melky's milk storage bag. Let's say that the mom did that. Now the bottle is empty. She's going to want to wash these parts and pieces. Okay, the ones I have in my hand for both bottles and flanges. So we're going to wash that with hot soapy water. We're going to wash our flange with hot soapy water. Same with our duckbill valve. This just pulls straight off. And same with our connector. So all those parts and pieces are going to be washed and then let to air dry after they wash them. Okay? Moms never need to get the tubing or the piston wet, so we want to just leave that assembled. Just tell them just disconnect from the flanges and leave the tubing and piston intact. Okay, so once this is dried, we can put this right back together. Start with our duckbill valve and our bottles and our flange. She's ready to begin the next pumping session. Okay, so let's show you what comes in the other components that come with it. Put this together real quick. All right. So over here, we're going to have the larger flanges. Now, these kits are designed to work with moms of many backgrounds. We just want to make sure that she's got the proper fit and the pumps are working for her properly. So we've got a larger flange here. So maybe the mom wasn't real comfortable with these. She has a little bit more nipple tissue, so she's going to use the larger flange. we've got 2 of those. We've got 2 extra connectors. And then on the bottom of these connectors are something that looks a little bit different. Okay, this is called an offset valve. Okay, offset meaning it's fastened over here and it opens and closes. So, like the duckbill valves, okay, these are going to provide the premium suction. Like moms most moms will do fine with these valves. Okay, but as the pump cycles, and if she's cycling very quickly here at 60 to 70 cycles a minute, this opens and closes every cycle of the pump. Okay. So if you can imagine pump cycling that quickly, if she has a lot of milk coming into the flange, okay, milk is coming in here, this is opening and closing with every cycle, she may have to get a little bit more. She has a copious milk supply. She may have a lot of milk that's not dropping into the bottle. That's where these type of valves would come in handy. So we'll disconnect that and put this valve on there. This does a very good job with a copious milk supply and dropping milk volume into the bottle. Okay. All right. So other parts and pieces in there, we've got a couple of extra bottles. And then we have four lids for those, all 4 bottles. The little white piece here is a pop out for the nipple. We don't have nipples in the kit, but that pops out and you can put a wide mouth nipple on there. Okay, so there's 4 of those. Those for all of our bottles. We have 2 extra duckbill valves. We have 2 valve membranes, which are extras. These just pull off. These wear out over time, so we supply a couple of extras for you. And then the last 2 pieces, which have threads on the inside and threads on the outside. This is for taking a wide mouth threaded bottle and narrowing it down. So many moms might have a supply of narrow mouth bottles, or if they're pumping in a NICU situation, they have the little value feed bottles in the hospitals. Those are also standard thread. So this little reducer goes in here and it changes it so they can use bottles that they already have as extras. Okay, so there's 2 of these orange reducers in each personal accessory set. The last piece is this. This is our bacteriostatic filter, because as you may have remember that this is a universal deluxe personal accessory set. This piece is not needed with this pump. So what we'd like you to do is keep this, just set it aside when you go through and show the mom all these parts and pieces, kind of like I've shown you here. You can either just say, you're not going to ever need this with this pump, so I'm going to do you a favor and just take it and I'll keep it. Okay, we'll set it aside. And then the last bit, these instructions, they will be changing here in the very near future, but there's 2 different sets of instructions, but in the very near future you'll see 1 set of instructions.
Tom, can you show them how to make a 2-handed pump?
Sure.
Out of.
So if there's a power outage, or if mom is going to be somewhere where it's not convenient to plug in a pump, She can disconnect the piston from the shoulder piece, take her pump, where we were plugging in the tubing, now we're going to plug in the piston. Let's get our flange on here. And just like we did when it was assembled on the pump, we can control the suction, how much suction the mom gets by dialing this up and down. And then mom is just going to hold it in this position. She'll take her other hand and she'll just pump this manually. Okay. At any time, she can adjust pressure for comfort. Okay. Now this can be used with everything that I showed you here. The different valves are all interchangeable. So there's, no right or wrong way to do that. Just put the piston in to the flange connector. Okay. There again, when she finishes her pumping session, she can disconnect this piston, set that aside. She doesn't want to get that wet or wash it. And then disconnect these parts and pieces and store them out however she sees fit. So this has a lubricant inside of it, and that's why we never want to get this wet. Okay, so just set it aside, or they can put it right back into here. Place that back onto the pump. To my left here is the last thing that I want to talk about, unless Bonnie has other questions. Doing good. This is our Endear carrying case. We have two different models. This one is the smaller profile. This one is a 6-inch profile at 6 inches tall. These clasps here just pop up. These are very easy to clean. There's no foam inserts or anything in there. So if the mom is transporting this and she wants to keep her tubing and things attached, that's fine. We can just slide her tubing under the handle. Okay. Then she can take her pump, unplug it, wrap the pump up on the cord holder in the back. Lay the pump in, and then she can put her parts and pieces inside of here as well. Lock it. And that's it. That is the Endear and the hard carry case.
Thank you very much, Tom.
All right, thank you.